like a lot of times with the main sheet, if you're putting the main sheet block on, it's really hard to get to the pin inside that spring. And if you just pull everything apart and just try to get things at a different angle, that's what I just did up here. I moved this pin over so that it would be on my right hand. And I wasn't, that way I just changed things around to get a better look at it. You guys want to come out and see it? Go ahead.
Nice. How you store this boat? You store this boat with the jib halyard on the tab there to act as a secondary backup forestay. Because if that forestay breaks, that mast is coming down.
Yep.
So you've got to always...
And that's a good practice on any boat. Might as well give yourself... Okay, and then haul that, oh, okay, I got it down here. My fault. And then, you guys might want to put shackles on this end of the. I don't know if do you guys?
I got shackles on mine. I thought that came in the kit.
There might be some in there. I thought we were gonna make these kids tie bowlines.
Oh yeah. We got adults.
Make them tie bowlines.
We teach them.
But what's really important is that we just get a stopper knot in there.
Yeah, we don't want to sky that.
Okay, and then go ahead and haul that. So for storage, when Clark hauls this jib halyard, tight, yep. So that toggle down below just tightened my forestay. And so not only is my forestay backed up, so if it did ever fail, the mast would stay up, but it's also tighter now because I've pulled that toggle tight, and so there's going to be less rubbing as the boat rocks in the waves.
Now, do we want that?
You want it level?
Flat?
You want it level?
No, well, no. So we used to sail. There's an old. We used to want it level.
Oh.
Because of the way when we were sailing, we wanted it level.
Yeah.
It's kind of a brilliant design piece. Because Sandy Douglas in 1957 knew the boats sail really better when the forestay tension matches the jib luff tension. So when you're racing, if you want to get super technical, the boat does go better when those two tensions match. So you don't have a jib that's cranked on the forestay, right? But what we found out is that the boats do beat better with a tighter forestay, which makes that toggle obsolete. So now what we do is we just always run the forestay tight and the jib halyard tension tight. So
Okay.
the old keep the toggle even thing. It used to be something 20 years ago that we checked, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
Because the jibs are now cut so that we can crank on them.
The main thing is keeping both tensions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we got to get these cotter pins secured. Hose. One of the brilliant things about the Flying Scot is that, yes, she doesn't have an open transom, but the seats are auto bailing, and the majority of water that ever splashes into the boat is going to come over the sides. So the seats are auto bailing, and that keeps the boat really dry. It's right there. It's hooked on that hose. Reach back there, that's it. Yeah. And that is the best place to store that. And once you know it's there, you get to where you don't have to look. If you got to bend down and look for it, it's a pain in the butt. But there's a hose back here. Dan, can you get in here? Do you want to get a picture of this? There's a hose here.
Oh, I never knew that. That keeps it from rolling
around. And so you hook it on that hose, and then
you know where it is.
Flip the back end over.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're sailing, it doesn't come out and get under your feet.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to put the, and then these holes over here to the side, just so you know while we're talking about it, this is so the boom can go off. The tiller is going to come to here. And so when it's here, the boat can be steered if you're being towed.
So that's what we're going to have to do when we tow these out. Is you can't have the boom crutch in the center line. You won't be able to steer.
So you just got to move.
So you can put it on either side. It goes through here and then it hits in a fitting below.
And that's if your sail's down, right? Because if your sail's up,
Then it's up.
There's no topping lift on this, so that serves as a...
Yeah, this is exactly right. This is our topping lift. Now the boom, if you're putting a sail below deck or a boom below deck for whatever reason, you always have to go into the bow. There's not enough room to get it clear in the stern. Okay, and then Clark, if you just want to slide the front of that onto the track there on the mast.
Yeah, one more powder pin.
Pull the pin to get it started. Nope. And then pull the pin to get it started. And there it is.
Blocks.
Cool.
You got one more that's secure up here.
Appreciate you.
what's that? We need another pin.
Well, just lift it off. Need a load.
So was that spring loaded when you came down? It snapped in?
Yeah, did you hear it?
Yeah, I did hear it. Okay, cool.
And then to get it off, you just pull the pin.
I know, man. I just came in at the
here.
last minute. That's cool. Well, I got to go to a United Way thing, but I wanted to come by and see these. They're beautiful.
Okay, the last thing is, the last couple things are the sails and the rudder, but really, I mean, the sails are kind of a separate aspect. So the rudder,
Watch this, guys. You need to know how the rudder goes on, because John will put it on wrong a lot.
okay, so talk about storage and maintenance. The rudder needs to be kept out of the water, and the tiller as well. Yeah, so you don't want the rudder sitting in water. It's a wood core rudder, so you just don't want it sitting in water in the bottom of the boat. Water can sit in the bottom of the boat as long as the rudder's not there. One good trick is just put it on a life jacket or a throwable cushion up on the side of the boat, because not any water will obviously run in the middle. Up on the side, on top of a cushion, she'll stay high and dry.
So we should be
Assuming the
taking
boat's not going to sit for 6 months,
So we should take the boat, at the end of the day, we should take the rudder off.
I certainly would. The rudder,
Store it in the cockpit, but not on the bottom.
if you've got somebody with enough gas left in the tank to take the rudder off, they'll last a lot longer if you take them off every day, rather than flopping in the waves over the years. They'll last a long time in the waves too. We do have camps and programs. They're kick-up rudders, so they can go over shallow water. And so you don't have to pull the pin all the way out. You just got to pull it out of the bottom gudgeon. That way you can't drop it in the water. You start with the top gudgeon, of course. Slide it down there. Now the rudder's got to kick out, go around the bottom gudgeon, and then kick it.
So the important thing, guys, is that
And then give her one of these.
this goes on top
Because-
and on the bottom. If you don't do that, you're going to lose the rudder.
Well,
If you do it that way, you're going to lose it.
that's an issue. It's got to be
So that's why you pull
held,
it, check it.
yep, by the boat. So it's got to kick out, and if you have it wrong, you might not realize it. But if you give her one of these, then you know it's right. And then the tiller. I might have both the tillers.
What's this line for?
I'm not concerned. I know it's
That's just a
safety line. So if somebody falls overboard,
Grab on.
then that's right there. Hold on. Then guys,
And there's a pin.
and then there's a pin. Okay.
Why are you here? Assume those two, the outer drains are from the seats.
That's right.
Okay. What about that one?
That's our drain hole.
From Bill?
Yeah. So
Is there a
we're just
plug?
about ready to go sit on. Yeah, there's a plug. It's a great question.
So while he's doing that, guys, one thing you need to know, if you get in shallow water, the rudder will kick up. But if you don't push it back down, you're not steering. The one I got has got a bungee on it, so it goes back down, and maybe we'll rig these the same way.
Is there a line?
Yeah,
So I was super happy.
These don't have rudder lift kits, and it's so lift, you put the line to lift them up and down. That's not an option that you guys went with, but I wouldn't see why you needed it if you're not sailing in shallow water. So I put them on the beach. Is it pin here? Yeah, well that does work.
But they were like this.
But there's also these pins. Pin hold it up.
Right. It's just one of those things where like you didn't even hold it out.
Shoot up. But tension will hold it pretty well. You know, for 50, 55 years, just the tension on this boat, on this bolt, held it down. We just wanted to over-engineer it.
So it's not kick up in that configuration.
It's not a haul up. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have a rudder lift kit, so you could add one on for a couple hundred, but I don't see why you would need to.
Well, we're pretty shallow here, but we got muck. So should we sail it with the rudder all the way down and then just
Yeah, I
use
think
that
so.
pin? We're gonna lose that pin for sure.
Yeah, I mean it's something. It's something that.
Probably need that.
Well, there's extra pins here. There's 5 pins.
Oh,
You don't have to. If you do need a rudder lift kit, you'll be able to install one. Seal, just snug, and so if it's cranked, then the plug over time will get deforms, and then if it's not real tight, if it gets put in loose, it could fail. Does that make sense?
Do we have any extra plugs?
Probably overthinking it. Yeah. So
is that a 3/4
yes.
inch?
What's that?
Is it 3/4 inch?
Like about 5/8.
5/8? You got extra plug,
I
right?
nailed it. Yeah, it's 5/8.
You got extra plug.
Yeah, so this is your spare parts kit. There's an extra plug in there, extra pins in there. Check this out, guys. You would never know it's there. Underneath the back deck is the autopilot. And it works really well. But you would never know it's there. We also call it the tiller tender. But it's great for when the boats are sitting at the docks, so that the tillers aren't flipping around, or when they're on the mooring ball. If you left the rudder in, you definitely want to have the tiller tender on. And you know, if you're single-handed and you need the boat to go straight for a little bit while you run forward, as long as you stay in the cockpit, single-handing is pretty safe. You're not likely to fall out of this cockpit, and the boat single-hands wonderfully. And you'll know when it's wrong because you'll see their main sheet twisted. And so it's not that big of a deal, you know. I mean, if it'd actually be a really good drill, because sooner or later, you sail long enough, sooner or later you're gonna have to work on the end of the boom under sail, right? Anybody ever forget their main sheet, the stopper knot?
That happened to Luke on Monday in his laser.
Last leg of I was in a laser.
Or many of them.
Or you know, you're jibing
He still finished.
and the main sheet gets looped around the end of the boom. That's a fun one. So sooner or later, you know, you're gonna have to come back here and undersail, adjust these things to keep get the main sheet when you jibe. I mean, when you tack, if you're doing a good job, then you should be tending to reach. You should be pulling your main sheet in as you tack so that it doesn't get caught up. But when you jibe, you don't have that luxury, and so just like on a laser and a Flying Scot, when you jibe, you know, your main sheet's going to be coming through here, and through here. I'll show you to rig the rest of it once I finish making this point. But when you jibe, just one arm length of main sheet, and the main sheet goes slack. One arm length up here. If you can just, as you jibe, that's just part of jibing, just one arm length will keep it from getting caught back here or wrapped around the boom, so you can avoid having to come back here and clear it up. So just part of the jibe. It also helps to have the crew throw the mainsail All right, if you guys look up at the mast, it's not a small mast. If you look at the boom, it's not a small mainsail. So if you can, in a blow, have the crew throw the jibe by the bank, that's a good way to teach jibing in a Flying Scot.
What down with the bank?
Yeah, just kind of grab down on the bank and throw it over.
Oh, okay.
With one extra up and down. I know you know how to rig a laser main sheet. You know, how to rig the main sheet, you know, just
No.
start
Oh,
going through blocks.
Yeah.
And when you run out of blocks to go through, then tie it off. So yeah, all the way through the sheave on that. Yep. Up, and there's one more purchase than on a laser. I mean, teaching people about feeling the boat is an opportunity to teach people about, you know, having the feel of the boat is to get rid of a purchase there in light air. So in light air, you would untie it from the becket and tie it to the fiddle block up. So for light air, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow them to feel the wind in the mainsail a lot better, and that's important because that's the best telltale there is. That's sailing by the seat of the pants, which there's something to be said to that.
Would you ever want to change your shroud settings, your pin settings, or is that standard you leave?
Before I leave today, it'll be set forever. When we but once it's right, it'll be right. And I think it'll be right. With the roller furling jib, the mast does like to be farther forward, and so if I need to rake it a little bit forward once I put the furler on, then I'll just pop this out, come up a hole, and then it'll be where it needs to be. So while we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and put that, so if you are adjusting this though, if I put a stopper knot at the shroud here now, it'll be in a different place than when we go with, we have a fleet, they race with their boards like halfway because of the shallow water, and everybody has to sail their boards halfway. They have a great time up out on Cape Cod.
How do they
I think it's on Cape Cod.
We haven't lost bills yet. No jib? Oh, that's good, okay.
No, they sail with jibs, but they probably just don't go out in that much wind.
Because I noticed after, over 15 knots.
15 knots is a lot of wind.
Yeah. I mean, you don't.
So if you need to depower, like I said, first thing is just furl the jib, and yeah. And then she's gonna be real happy. And then reef the main.
The inboard end of your boom, is there only one setting for that? Where you popped it in? Is there more than one setting? Or
No, good question. Got it now. Nope, just one setting.
That's just it.
You're concerned about it. I'm all about you putting a land cleat like down here. I think that's a great idea. I'm sorry. I'll use this also. But I would
tighten that up.
Back it up.
I'm putting it on a horn cleat and I'm yanking it and then I'm pulling it up like this. That thing, when I pull on it from the top, I want to get some tension. Then it unlocks.
You lose a half an inch there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just probably my. I don't know. It's just probably my inability to.
No, you're right. There's half an inch. I don't think you're gonna miss it, but a horn cleat would be fail-safe. This is the way that we've always done these halyards. The Flying Scot typically has a winch here.
Yeah. No, it's not.
But this is simpler. If you told me when I was 5 how to raise a sail on a mast, this is simpler. Like this is what I would expect to see. So this is good. A horn cleat would make this fail safe.
When you raise the mainsail, you want it up, but you want to leave a little bit of.
I'm not so much worried about the half inch, and I'm not worried. We've been using these for years for camps. We haven't had any complaints. Pull the jib in before we reef the main. So
how about with furling though?
Especially with furling, because it's that much easier just to furl the jib up. So you
kill the jib altogether.
Yeah, because we want a little bit of windward help.
And it tacks okay with just the main.
Yeah, just you gotta have a little bit more speed, but absolutely, you just don't want to go into the tack slow. it's nice to have the jib up. I understand what you're saying. For if
Yeah,
you
the
need help to
Mariner,
get
Mariner won't tack at all.
yeah, she'll
just
go.
the main.
The Scot will go. And again, so neutral that if the skipper fell overboard, the boat would just keep going. And we think it's a safety thing to have a little bit of windward helm in a boat, so that if something did, if the skipper fell overboard, the boat would round up and wait for the skipper.
So kill the jib first and then reef the main.
That's our theory.
Okay.
Don, you're gonna find this boat sails really nice.
Yeah, we sail as flat as
So
possible.
you're gonna sail flat, you know, in a decent wind, you know, with the board halfway down because the shallows here.
Okay, then we just pin this side in here.
So Bill, you said board halfway down?
Well, I mean,
With just the main especially. Sounds like maybe it's shallow here, so you're gonna do that a lot.
Cost to get everything for a spinnaker on.
The Mariner, we can centerboard Omni.
Like, yeah,
You could we could probably come up with the used spinnaker for the spinnaker is the most expensive part. Spinnaker's $1,300. It's like $250 for the pole, and then you just need lines and sheets. And what I do is I just turn the ratchet off here. I just run my sheets back through those blocks. There's a little bit more friction, but for the sake of just getting a spinnaker up, it's there.
All right, so the shackle stays up there.
Yeah. Yeah, we just do bowlines on these. Figured it'll be interesting to see how well. More bowlines we can make them tie the better. That's my theory.
shackle on that, so just shackle them.
Literally on the boat.
Yeah, but it's like a little bit harder.
I do want this as tight as possible.
I think it's just our experience.
Well, that's interesting, because this doesn't hang on here. If you drop it, you can control the head of this from the cockpit. And then the stern line?
Yeah, that's the thing about the jib tack tensioner is that we just, you know, it's the same thing as the halyard. You know, it's just we just use the halyard to tension it.
But with the conventional jib, it doesn't hang on to the forestay either.
No, the conventional jib does, and that shackle.
This can
That shackle with the furler. The shackle with the furler is a appendix. You don't need that shackle up there. We're going to leave it there in case you ever want to put a head stay on. But you're right. We're just running. The jib has its own stay right now, sewn into it, and it's all tensioned up with the halyard. So I got jib sheets on. I found the middle of the line. Put a loop through there, and then taped it on, and now this is ready to be rolled up. Does that work?
Well, I was just thinking, these clean parts work so much.
He says we leave it.
So you did, I noticed you did a couple rolls over. You want to do like 2 or 3 wraps around.
That's what holds it all together in a blow.
UV shield on it?
Yes, sir.
So when you can't have batteries on this here.
Absolutely not.
No, it's got its own forestay.
It's holding the forestay.
Yeah, and so to Bill's point, with the furlers left up, we don't have to worry about tensioning our jib tack wire there. There is a jib tack wire sewn into the furling jib, so everything is backed up, and you know we can't tighten it anymore. That's as tight as she's gonna go. But if you don't have tension on that, then it's not gonna cause any damage. You know, if that forestay,
You have that chain.
it just can't be in the middle, right?
No, we have to put that hardware on there.
If because the forestay comes through the deck, which is the best way to do a forestay. I'll spare you the long story. Yeah. So, but
it's just the
that's gonna be fine. There's not enough tension here to cause any damage.
evening out the tension between the headstay and the halyard is only done with the regular.
With the regular jib. And that's kind of days of old stuff.
Do you ease off the halyard any when you roll it?
No.
So you'd have enough trouble getting enough tension.
Now, so
We're never gonna.
the
What I'm talking about was easing the halyard a little bit. Some of the stretch, off the sail when you're not used to it.
yeah, it's all that tension is on the inner wire of this sail. There's a wire sewn into the the luff of the sail. Yeah, so you want to keep it tension. Now, as you guys sail the boat a little bit, the shrouds will stretch, and this will loosen up. The halyard's going to stretch. That's going to be easy to tighten. As the shrouds stretch, all you got to do is just take the slack out. You've got another hole here. So after you sail the boats a few times, you'll need to tighten this. I think you'll find this loosening up.
Yeah.
And you'll know it's loosened up if it's trying to roll into the headstay. So you guys are going to have to break these boats in a couple sails.
Oh, you gotta sail it? Darn. No, poor guy.
It's gonna get dirty.
Is there a
And then tighten
specific
that up.
tension you
No.
want that on, or just kind of make it feel tight?
Make it feel tight.
Okay.
Key of
Same
C.
thing with,
Yeah, chill.
A nice F.
Twang. That's good enough.
No.
If you tighten the headstay, then you'll tighten these. And that's the way you want to do it.
Okay. That pulls the mouse forward, though, no?
And that's not, that's good.
You broke some cupboards. Show these guys how to handle it. Subverted it.
You mind putting this shroud before staying on that boat there? You see the one sitting on the deck. Okay. Brand new. Comes folded, unfortunately. So.
I tried a whole bunch of different ways of storing the main, and I found that rolling the main storage is better than trying to plate it. What is your considered opinion?
Absolutely.
We got a lot of people that don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is a 6-ounce Dacron. It's very forgiving. I mean,
Durable.
it's durable. It's malleable. So if it gets a crease in it, it's not going to matter. What I like to do is drop it on one side of the boom, and then roll it up, and then bring it over the boom. And as I bring it over the boom, I roll it. Some people just, that's the way to do it, guys. This is the way I normally do it.
That wasn't me.
So typically, the best way to put a sail on the boom is to roll it first. Since you're all watching me right now, I didn't really want to get out and guide the whole group over to the grass and then drag the whole thing out. So I'm just doing it this way, and then I'm going to drop it.
So that bolt goes right in that slot, guys.
Can you reach it yet? So the outhaul is here. You see this cleat here? That's the outhaul. One thing I could probably do is just go ahead and put that up.
I think they're safe.
Yeah, ease the main sheet a little bit.
Surely it'll go now.
What's the
That's for Jiffy reefing.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now, and then up here at the front, the jib tack. So this needs to be tacked up here. And if you want, now that the sail is manageable, I can drop it, roll it, take it off, and put it back on if you guys want to see that.
Show us how far it should go up.
Yeah, so if you look at the top,
This is important, guys.
So you're not going to bring the tack down through the track?
no, that's not necessary. That is just not necessary. So the one thing about these sails is I don't think they'll go well. The day sailing sails, they usually make them so that you can't get into trouble. So I don't think you have anything to worry about with these sails. You don't want that shackle
Going over the top of the
going
boat.
over and it's actually the swedge of the, but these are rope hired. You guys don't have a
So
swedge.
if we just have, I mean,
So you're good.
Just
You
show us
can't
how
go
tight
wrong.
the luff is. Show us how tight the luff is.
Just like any other sail, the heavier it's blowing, the harder you crank on the halyard. So light air, let it down a little bit. And then there is, of course, the 4 and 40 rule. Anybody here ever heard of the 4 and 40 rule?
No.
You look like you have. Okay, so 4 and 40 is that you set the boat up the same way in 4 miles an hour as you do 40. Believe it or not, it's a little phenomenon that comes around. For instance, in a total drifter, do we have our sails like cranked all the way in? Right, no, they're out like 3 feet because we need to put the bow down. And likewise, in a blowing 40, do we have our main sail cranked all the way in? No, it's out for a different reason, but still the same. It's out, and you can even pull a little vang on in light air, create a little leech hook. If you look at the back of my sail up here, if I put tension on the vang, see that leech hook? In a total drifter, that can be good to develop to generate some power and get the boat moving a little bit.
but if you got,
This is all pretty advanced stuff.
If you got a lot of wind, and you're sailing upwind.
A lot of vang.
A lot of vang.
Yeah. The vang is our go-to. This is a 6-to-1 vang, so it's a lot more forgiving. Some people will race with a 12-to-1 vang. The problem is that 12-to-1 vang can do some damage. So
You don't have to worry about bending the
if I were sailing this boat in say 15, 20, I'd probably have my main all the way up. And then what I would do is over trim my mainsail to pull the vang on tight enough. And then of course I'm going to ease my mainsail back out. And then as I heel over, I ease my mainsail out. And just normal stuff. Downwind is when you would bend a boom. That's the problem. Is that if you forget to let the more powerful the vang, the harder you pull on it. Well, downwind, upwind, my mainsail is being held in 3 places. If we're sailing in breeze, my outhaul, of course, gets cranked on. Everything gets cranked in breeze. Now, for sailing upwind, I mean, and my vang is cranked, and if the puff hits, I'm easing my main out. Well, I've got my main held by 3 points on the boom. Here, my vang is cranked upwind and it'll blow. Here and back there. All of those spots are holding the boom down. If it were actually blowing, it's light air, so it's hard to demonstrate. If it were actually blowing, this would be getting held out, and these 3 points are holding the boom down. Well, I go downwind and my main goes out. It goes slack here, it goes slack here. Now, the only place holding the boom down is all of that load is now right here and can cause damage. It's a great way to, on lasers, you'll break the boom.
Let the boom, let the bang.
So you let the bang off the breeze.
Even
Yeah.
if the boom starts to ride up.
Downwind, that's a good thing. Downwind, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna help you. It's
You
gonna.
want to keep your top batten parallel to your boom, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, downwind. It's okay to be spilling air up there, and so anyway, you guys do have jiffy reefing.
You go off the wind, it's just gonna lift up this of your lead. You want to keep the top batten parallel to the bang. The problem with the bang is it doesn't connect to the mast, right? That's why it tightens up when you let it out. That's the same.
I wouldn't call it the same problem. It does that true. It's not a big problem. And actually on this one, so on day sailing, on this rig it actually doesn't do that because it's on this bridle.
Yeah.
So this pivots as it goes around.
You ever thought of a G-nav? G-nav?
But we just want to keep it simple.
I know, but a G-nav would be. I just thought.
I don't know what that is.
It's an upside down bang where you put it up.
Oh
like
yeah,
the Blue Mountains 52s.
they're not class legal.
I know they're
Yeah,
not class
yeah,
legal, but it would be a way to avoid breaking stuff, maybe.
Well, more than that holds it up. That just kind of takes the weight of the boom off the mainsail and light air. That's more of a light air thing.
Right now.
Anyway, so you guys order these boats with jiffy reefing. It's very cool. You know, if you guys have, you guys are gonna be able to sail on a lot more breeze comfortably, which is gonna give you more days on the water. I'm starting to get pretty far back here, but I'm just gonna run this jiffy reefing line. So it's gonna go around.
George, this is what you and I were trying to figure out. I'm gonna hold this up.
Around. Thank you. I know I'm on the. So just a bowling around the boom starts the whole thing.
That's for safety. Okay, watch this, George, because I don't think we had it right on mine. There's the bowling. Then it goes up to the reef point. Down the other side.
And it goes back to here?
Through there, and then what, you stop or not after that?
No, not yet. Go ahead and put it through there. From my side to yours, please. Thank you, sir.
The other way.
There you go.
You get a short guy here.
You got it? Sir. Okay, now, so since the main's up, we can take our boom crutch out. We talked about how to store that earlier. I got it now. Over here. Okay, and then all the way down the boom, just like an out haul. I'd run it through here so that it doesn't hang down.
It's that line.
Hold on.
So this block up here on the front of the
Let
boom.
me see how it goes through there, Tyler. Hold on.
There you go.
Okay, I got it. Goes up that way. Okay, I got it. Then through the reef
Yeah,
point.
and then up through the reef point.
You care about this lap? You care about this twist?
Hold on, it's on the vang. Stuck on the vang.
Push the blue rope over.
Twisted here. You care about that?
Push the blue rope over.
I think you do.
I don't. Well, yeah, I certainly would, but I think that when I pull that tight,
Yeah.
it won't be.
Okay, we're clear.
Just next to each other.
It's under the vang.
Okay.
Is that adjustable?
And then there's a cleat over here. Okay, so it just comes down. It's just like a halyard cleat. And so the idea is that if we want to reef, we just these are made. Take the slack out here.
You got this, Diane?
Okay, so you bring this in and then you help it all the time.
You got to help it on the.
On that side. You got,
And then the
This is now your new outhaul, so you're gonna want it. And when you're helping it, let's crank it. slack out. It's going to be your preference.
Tension's on the back.
Oh, you threaded the outhaul to do that? Let me ask you again. Is this a dedicated line or is this the outhaul?
No, it's a dedicated
It
line.
just hangs out. It's the Jiffy reefing line. It's not the out. It's not the outhaul. Yes, sir.
Where's the outhaul when that's...
It cleats right here. And it's on the...
Oh, so you just have it tied on the... Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. All right.
And then
And
it's going
this
to
is
be...
dedicated here. This lower one.
It just hangs out when it's not on.
Okay. It's going to be on it.
And then it's going to be up to you guys if you want these lines hanging off your sail.
We want them hanging off the sail.
You want them hanging off the sail.
Yeah, definitely. Because people will lose them.
So what you did, you just put a stopper knot on both sides.
It's fine for what we're doing. In there to square knot with the loop, so if I want to shake the reef, then I just pull that, it comes undone, I can uncleat my reef line and haul back up on my halyard. Not with the reefing, yeah.
But you would.
Yeah, I would. It would be. The reefing is gonna be, and Cunningham are gonna be
Right, yeah,
pretty similar in everything. So like with a Cunningham, I can bring this down to here and just open up the entire roach of the sail. But with the reefing, when I ease my main halyard, I'm also opening up the roach of the sail. And just like a jib tack wire, I can control the tension on the luff of my sail with my halyard over here.
Right.
So this is essentially pulling on Cunningham right now.
But people don't use that Cunningham by themselves.
Not day sailing, no, not day sailing.
And then,
that is everything. We're just gonna cover the boat up. I mean, just gonna show you how to cover it. It's the last thing I'm gonna show you.
and then the
Very simple.
I'll get all this tools back there. Okay. Yeah. And then I'll sit down. This will certainly be easier with two people, but I'm gonna do it by myself. Show that it's possible. Wrestle it. You're gonna have to full carry. You're gonna have to get permission from my wife on that one. I don't know if she's gonna give it to you. We got 3 little kids at home. Yeah. Okay, so if there's not a sail tie and reach, I just use the end of the main sheet here. There is a sail tie up here. I find that if I just tie it once in the stern, once at the back, you can see it's kind of enough, but if you want to put a sail tie up forward, that's up to you. I just tie it in the back. I keep my sail ties personally, you know, there's multiple ways to do things, but I just keep my sail ties looped around my tiller tender here.
You mean so you can find them again?
Yeah, so that when I'm back here and I need one, then I can just pull one real quick. And it's a lot neater than using the main sheet.
Yeah, they're easy. I think people eat those things. Oh, they get thrown everywhere. They're down in the bill all through the marinade.
And then to put the cover on, the last thing is we're going to put the cover on. So I got to bring this back to center.
Now we're going to be at the dock, Tyler, so you can be able to do this from the dock.
So what you want to do is, what I do is, when I fold it up at the beginning of the day, I fold it such that all I got to do is set it here and unroll it.
Where do you store that? Just under the seat?
Or up and down, missing snaps.
Like, they're all missing. No. Yeah, they're all,
And then it's... So you would unroll it typically the way that I fold it, and then you want me to do this. So you know it's all done from the shore from the boat real easily. Right now I'll tip back on the trailer. So I just pull that there, and then that.
Okay, it's at the dock.
Need.
It's at the dock.
You're climbing underneath.
Yeah, I'm climbing. Well,
You're walking.
I walk. Yeah, you're walking. You're walking. You've got the right idea, so you guys are gonna need. We just open those up a little bit when they're new. Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
And what that does, that way we don't have to put a second little eye strap.
Yep.
So you're going to walk it up.
Yeah, and then this is over here.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's quick.
Yeah.
Then you can stand in.
And I guess every time I come down to the dock, I'm going to see these boats covered up then, huh? So easy.
Yeah, all your guy will have to do is clean the bird shit off the cover.
Exactly.
That's going to be great.
That's a lot easier though.
On the other side.
That's very.
Come on now, you can do it. The other side's the dock side.
All right, you come across now.
And then when you do one side, the other side magically does itself. So, typically, if this side's already done back here.
Need snaps on this side.
I saw that. I'm so upset with my cover maker.
Their quality control.
We had the whole thing on the video. Well, so these snaps are made. The covers are made by Pleasant Valley tarps. So.
Well, I missed a couple.
I see
Taylor,
that.
is that who made these or somebody else?
Tyler, the people
Pleasant
that
Valley
ever get it.
tarps.
So it's missing snaps on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've asked them. I'm like, why don't you guys just snap it when you pack it up so that you know this.
See this?
Oh, we're missing the snap?
Yeah.
Here's a
Sailor's Tailor. Yeah. Don't you worry. I think probably what I'll have them do so that you have covers is have them send you a tool and snaps. And you guys can take them here. That way you have covers for tonight. 3 weeks.
There's a shelf in the shop there. One shelf, a plastic box about that big, with all kinds of both ends of the snaps.
Well, have them send us what we need.
Where's that? You have that here? Yeah. I can put snaps on it real quick if you have that.